Hey guys, what's up? Darius Dangers here, and just bringing you a video to shed light on my thoughts on this 5.5 gigabytes of usable memory for the PS4. It seems to be the case. 5.5 gigabytes will be up to what developers are able to utilize of the PS4 at launch. 3.5 gigabytes reserved for system memory, it seems to be, with a 4.5 gigabyte base for developers to utilize. And this is, of course, of the GDDR5 Ram. So, my thoughts on this were initially, and I'm not really actually even sure where my like initial impressions from this came from. It just seemed to be that there was some kind of consensus going around that it would be about, I guess this was just people guessing, that there would be probably around 1 gigabyte reserved for OS functions and 7 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM dedicated to gaming functions. But it seems that, yeah, we're going to be looking at 4.5 to 5.5 gigs of GDDR5, 3.5 towards OS. I guess this 3.5 gigabytes towards the OS, though, that footprint might decrease over time through patches and optimizations. So we might see developers actually using even more than 5.5 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM. So that'll probably be good. I'm not really all that concerned about this. 5.5 gigabytes of GDDR5 is still a lot of RAM. Would have preferred 7, as 7 is just more, but 5.5 with possibly more going forward, that's pretty good, I'd have to say still. And it seems like people are using this as an excuse to kind of bring the systems more, like the Xbox One and the PS4, trying to bring them more on par, which is actually kind of funny, because not much has really changed in that case. I mean, what the Xbox One uses, what is it, 5 gigs dedicated towards gaming, 5 gigs of DDR3, not GDDR5. So slower RAM, slower GPU. CPUs seem to be almost identical at this point, though. So PS4 is still a better machine, and still theoretically on paper should run multi-platform games better than the counterpart on the Xbox One. But I wouldn't be surprised really to see games that are at least on parity on both consoles. I could just see some games being made for the lowest common denominator, but I really don't see how PS4 versions of multi-platform games, they should run better. They honestly should. There's no reason that they shouldn't, because the GPU is better in there. It wouldn't require much work to get games running at slightly higher resolutions. Like I could totally see a game on Xbox One being at 900p and then being at full 1080p on the PS4, or running at 30 FPS locked on the 360, then running at 60 frames per second on PS3. And that's not even a PS4, I mean, but that's not necessarily even like a double performance thing. Like that would be like a game they got running on Xbox One. They can't get it up to 60, so they're just gonna lock it down to 30. That's just what they're gonna do. So I could totally see a lot of games on Xbox One just running at 30 frames, just because they couldn't get a, they don't want to put a variable frame rate on there for whatever reason, and they just want to get that frame rate locked at 30. So I could see that happening. But not a lot has really changed. Like, it seems like some people seem to think the landscape has changed for next generation, and it really hasn't that much, honestly. It's kind of funny. The more I dwell on this, the more I look at how some people on like NeoGAF and stuff, which is very entertaining to read right now, are like freaking out. The more I think about it, the less I really care. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because PS4, Xbox One going forward aren't going to be my single console for that generation, I'm also going to be upgrading my PC. So I'm just fine to see. I guess at the end of the day, I am mostly about the games, even though I do appreciate hardware. Like, I would have appreciated 7 gigs in there. I don't know what the fuck developers would be doing with that much RAM, but I mean, they still got at least 5.5 gigs to work with, at least 4.5, I think, something like that. So I don't know. It's still all good. Infamous Second Son looks good as hell to me. Fucking Killzone Shadowfall still looks good. Deep Down is still said to have been running on PS4 hardware. So fuck it. What difference does it make, really, at the end of the day? We might see upwards of 6 gigs used. That would probably be more than sufficient to get anything right on there. We're still going to be seeing really high resolution games, really high res textures, finally going to be in 1080p, fucking territory that's going to look great on people's televisions. They don't even realize. Like, I mean, I play console, I play PC ports of console games on my fucking TV with a wireless 360 controller, and games in 1080p look fucking amazing on a TV, honestly. And shit, you hardly even have to use anti-aliasing from that kind of viewing distance. Fucking FXAA, as much as people, ooh, FXAA fucks up image quality. I guess I don't really notice it too much, but I find FXAA and 1080p sufficient when I play in my bed and on my TV with a controller. So, I don't know, I guess going forward, it's still good. It's still like 10 times more memory available than fucking the PS3, but I just find this kind of funny as people thinking that now the Xbox One and PS4 are closer, when really, not really. This wasn't really even what was, I mean, it's still GDDR5 versus DDR3. It's still fucking, what, a 33, 50% more powerful not CPU, GPU. So you're still going to see better performance on a fucking PS4, and it's cheaper. That's probably more important than fucking anything. At this point, with all the Xbox One reversals, that's probably the most important factor, the price factor. So that's probably what's going to matter most going forward in this console generation. So, yeah, those are just my thoughts on this. Finding the shitstorm developing on the internet quite entertaining to observe. Surprised. I guess at first I was just a little disappointed to hear it, but I mean, that's just because 7's better than 5.5. That's all there is to it. I don't really even know what the fuck they'd be doing with 7 gigs at launch. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, more is more. More is always better. I mean, probably would just see what PC gamers out there that know more. Higher resolution textures, still probably going to be stuff at least running at 1080p constantly, I guess. But I don't know. It's still looking like a very promising generation with all the reversals with the Xbox One, and now they're all Xbox One consoles apparently being able to be used as dev kits, not at launch, but I mean, I'm not a fucking game developer, indie developer, but that's pretty legit, I gotta say. I mean, that's pretty legit. So I think this is still going to be a great console generation. I'm still looking forward to it quite a bit, and I'm just surprised by how little this news has actually mattered to me. So I'll probably be making some more videos soon. So take care, guys. Darius Dangers, signing out.